What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Which crypto will appreciate the most in this bull run? With over 7,400 votes on this poll and nearly 60% of those votes going to Cardano, it's evident that eyes are on Cardano and the community is strong. Cardano node version 9.0 equals 13%. We are increasing the readiness to get closer for Chang hard fork, because we know that once we hit 70% or greater SBOs, as Charles said, a hard fork date will be set. The Genesis keys get burnt. And Node 9.0 basically means Cardano has the best, the most decentralized, and I hope the most effective decentralized government in the entire cryptocurrency industry. So again, we covered this a few days ago, but we are getting closer to that 70% mark. Very exciting times ahead of us. Ada Whale says, USDM liquidity now ramping up nicely. USDM has been minted, another 1.375 million added to a total supply of nearly 5 million, which is looking good. More liquidity, I like that. David Gokhshtein, big influencer. I've worked with David Gokhshtein in the past. He's always so active with meme coins and X spaces, and he says ADA has a strong community, in reply to a tweet that said, imagine thinking ADA won't break its previous all-time high. So he thinks that it will. And we've seen a lot of the G Media guys jumping in, Vesper Wallet, Nike especially. So always welcome. I've seen him host many spaces with Charles, and it's going to be exciting to see more influencers, more media jumping into Cardano, and it's going to be a win-win. Thank you, David, for the mention. Melon says we are working to add a new safety icon to show that the token has some safeguards. For example, policy locked and initial LP burnt as an example. Also talking with Zerberus about some advanced token security, like showing serial scammer tokens, which is good. I like that. Anything to help with tooltips and widgets and to improve the user experience, especially perceived security, will welcome people more and more if we make it feel bubbly and soft and trusted and enhance that. That's very important. MinSwap V2, as we know, it's live and it's been around for 24 hours. Aside from the lightning quick trades, there's one feature that is low-key making the experience great: auto routing. And auto routing is great because this way, if you want to switch like some USD ticker to Nike, then it can take care of all the stuff, especially where maybe the liquidity in certain pools is a little lacking. So the TLDR is that MinSwap V2 has a bunch of stuff, but it's lightning fast. This auto routing is also very excellent. Everything is linked below if you guys want to check out more details. And we'll come back to MinSwap in a moment. The top 3 tokens by relevant value in ADA show SNEC as the token perceived as the most valuable in the Cardano ecosystem, followed by, we see World Mobile there. And this is interesting, relevant value. It looks like a new metric. What does it mean? The relevant value metric measures the smallest significant holder in an ecosystem. A larger, smallest holder size suggests that the ecosystem has a higher perceived value because it takes more investment to be considered a relevant holder. So that's interesting, kind of like looking at holders and measuring like the smallest one and the significant between them. It's a little bit complex, but it is an interesting metric nonetheless. Large transfers, Ergo to Cardano, almost $200,000, and compliments of Rosenbridge. Rosenbridge is helping so much to also bring EVM and to do these kind of like native to native swaps. And I think that good bridges are always going to be a need. Good decentralized services like this are always going to have a role to move funds back and forth, because how else are we going to welcome liquidity? Speaking of, RSBTC transfer between Cardano and Ergo. RSBTCs, almost $700. RS assets such as Bitcoin can move freely between supported networks before returning to their native chain. Speaking of fluid tokens, right? This was the first permissionless platform that's serving like lending, trading, borrowing, bringing Bitcoin, involving Cardano also. So they've done a lot, not only for Cardano, but also to bring in Bitcoin ecosystem as well, which is great. So there's some new features, Fluid Dex, new feature, price charts. You can monitor all swaps happening on the Fluid Dex live. Also, we have recent trades. DOG is currently the most traded rune on their DEX. So this is great because we have like decentralized DEX, Cardano involvement also. These guys have been building platforms for Cardano. I love the medley that's coming together of like Bitcoin swaps, Bitcoin DEX, trade to Cardano, Ergo to Cardano, BTC to Cardano, back and forth. I really love opening up these highways and welcoming in more. And I think that's what incentivizes users. The movement of money is important. Speaking about movement, it looks like World Mobile is getting close to 2,000 air nodes. And I gotta say, looking at their website occasionally, I really love the branding. It's exciting because I think that connectivity is very difficult. I've been looking at traveling to Japan and other places, and of course, I mean, I'm in Canada, and there's not even a roaming package for my carrier. And in comes World Mobile, where people can contribute to the network, they can be rewarded for it. Simple, nice services like this, the World Mobile eSIM, roam freely, stay connected. Affordable, seamless roaming in over 50 countries. And I love this. I love different services that they offer because especially for convenience, travelers, developing nations, geofencing, restrictions, reliability. If you're a small business, I think that what World Mobile is doing, and I've only scratched the surface in terms of them also using technology from Elon with Starlink and whatnot, I think it's such a beautiful medley of like blockchain, decentralized identity, robustness, reliability, feasibility, connectivity. Because what's a world with blockchain if we're not even connected, right? We have to be connected. We need internet connectivity. So I really like what World Mobile is doing. And arguably, I would say my personal is like, this is basically the number one blue chip. I don't even have the token. I don't even have any of these tokens. But World Mobile's moving a little different. And I like that they have bridged to other networks as well. Well, speaking of bridging, I wish that we could get some bipartisan bridging going on. This is a bummer, says Tony. The vote to overturn the veto of SAB 121 failed. So it is what it is. We needed an overwhelming yay support. So we'll have to see what goes on into Q4. I mean, I guess you could see a positive being this, that the former president will be speaking at Bitcoin 2024. At the end of the day, guys, I think we're just experiencing FUD campaign till Q4 and beyond. Everything is kind of cyclical and the narratives are just the garnish. It's always the same cake, just different garnish. Just like the wooden plank roads in the past, just like when there was the tulip industry, time and time again, people think like they forget about cycles, they forget about human psychology. And what I'm getting at is that crypto will be legitimized in the USA. It's just they're waiting for the right place and the right time to stack up their bags and to accumulate more of whatever said projects, be it Bitcoin or any of the other altcoins, to cement power. Because if you hold a lot of crypto, then you can make a lot of money and you can have governance, and governance is powerful. So I'm optimistic when it comes to USA and crypto. As a Canadian, I mean, like, there's some pain points here with crypto also. But I think that whatever you think of the former president, he's very transactional. He's very like, I want to make more money. And I think that it will be generally a net positive. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. Politicians say a lot of things, and truth is in action, as I like to say. Well, speaking of truth, the line doesn't lie, and Cardano is nearly up at 40 cents. So what have I been saying, guys? It's exciting to see, and I don't do this to toot my horn. But you guys know that from the get-go, I was saying that post-Bitcoin halving, it's going to be a little bit bearish. We're priced a little too aggressively going into the halving. And lo and behold, we've seen kind of the FUD on anything under the sun. And I think we are close to the bottom. I don't know where exactly the bottom for ADA is, but I've always said that my buying window is 24 cents to 39 cents. And we've come down to like 3.6, 3.2 and bounced back up pretty good. And one new thought I would leave with you guys is that this governance stuff, right? We'll probably have some proposals that are like grifting or stupid. However, I would say, guys, I love the incentives that the governance will open up because it'll be in the public eye to judge and see, for people to discern, but also people will be incentivized to share. Go on spaces, talk about it, like it, retweet it, share it with their friends, which is good because on a network where there's no incentives like XRP, which I don't do this to scapegoat it, but just as an example, there really isn't any rewards for validators other than voting. There is no staking rewards. It's a proof of consensus, and there really isn't a financial incentive to build on the network. So I'm happy to see that ADA, their strong presence on X. I'm happy to see the charismatic leadership, the intimate branding, the treasury, the burning of the Genesis keys right after that following meeting this and moving forward with Chang hard fork. So I'm so excited. Q4 is going to be very exciting. Charles also spoke about potentially speaking with Joe Rogan, as we know, Rogan after Gogan. We'll see what happens. I speculate, guys, we've seen that the Argentine president with Elon, maybe there's some stuff that Elon, Joe Rogan have had some conversations with Charles behind the scenes. We never know. We never know. Some of the replies by Charles to Elon is as if like there are some conversations that he's following up from that were in private, just like the context of it. But that's just me. I like to kind of break down, read between the words, look at body language, kind of like, but I won't be spreading rumors left and right the way that some other networks, you know which one I'm talking about, like to spread their rumor mill. Ultimately, it's a nice bounce back for Cardano. And I'm hoping Jeets can Jeet. Like, bring it back to this. I'm going to scoop up some more. And let me know what you guys think. If you guys scooped up there, you're already looking pretty good, like up 20%. And I think that Q4 and beyond will be looking very nice. As we know, Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, did say he's thinking $5 trillion for all of crypto by the end of Q4. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. But I think that usually with ADA and everything else, they're going to be late bloomers. Bitcoin will have its run going up into Q4. And just like last cycle, remember that when we had that Alonzo hard fork, we hit $3. It was at the very tail end of the bull market, but also we had none of these amazing projects. The amount of DEXs, the amount of building, the governance, all of this stuff, it was nowhere near as baked in as it is now. So with people like Linux Foundation, with the groups like that being inspired by Cardano for voting and governance, it's evident that Charles has worked meticulously with others to really get governance right. So I really like what I see. The more and more I see the involvement of governance, I was hesitant at first. I actually think that it's being executed on in a way that makes sense and incentivizes users in the right way to protect the best interest of the holders also. So I'm excited, guys, for Cardano. We'll continue to watch. A relatively quiet day today for ADA. If you guys have any other thoughts, let me know. I think that Cardano will easily surpass its previous all-time high. Time will tell. I think Q1 and beyond for 2025. Let me know your thoughts, your price predictions. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, and I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.